Hey, what's going on, everybody? Now, we all know that when computers first started out, they were giant. They filled entire rooms of buildings. But now, honestly, computers have come a long way, and this little device, which actually fits right even smaller than the palm of my hand, as you guys can see right here, this is the new X-Duo Pantera Pico PC. The smallest fully functioning computer that I have ever seen. Right now it's on Kickstarter, and they have a bunch of specials going, which I'll have links down below at the end of the video where you guys can check it out and get actually a great deal on this little tiny computer that will literally fit in your pocket and can go anywhere. So let's jump right in, let's talk tech, and let's talk about the smallest PC I've ever seen. Let's go. Today's video is brought to you in part by Anker. The Anker Nano is definitely one of those products that can be used in your daily life, as it can be used to charge any device, be it Android or iOS based. And although the Nano was designed for the iPhone, it can charge other phones and products that use the USB-C connection. The Nano uses a stacked design with custom magnetic components to reduce its size and increase efficiency, as well as offering better heat dissipation. Best of all, however, the Anker Nano charges your devices 3 times faster than the original 5-watt chargers available on the market today. You can charge your iPhone 12 and other previous models with this new 20-watt charger very quickly. The Nano is so small, in fact, it's actually smaller than a quarter. And it's 50% smaller than Apple's original 20-watt charger and fits right in your pocket easily. So if you are on the go and need fast charging wherever you are, the Anker Nano is the smallest and fastest charger you can get for your daily charging needs. Check out the link below to get yours today. Alright, so before we jump into the video, I would ask a kindness of you people out there. Could you please like and share my video on social media? And if you like my style, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you know I'm making videos. So the first thing we're going to do is let's check out the contents of the box. So when you open the box, you're going to see it comes in its actual carrying case. That's right, the little Pantera Pico PC comes with its own carrying case that you can take anywhere on the go with you. If you don't want to stick the device in your pocket, it actually keeps it protected. Then inside the box, you get a lot of different paperwork, a VIP membership, which actually gives you access to buy some other stuff at a discount. You get the 12-volt power charger, and you get the unit itself. So everything you need actually comes in the box, and it comes pre-installed with Windows 10, including all the latest updates. Taking a closer look at the Pico PC, the outer shell is made from a single block of aluminum, CNC milled and hard anodized, and only the top and bottom are made of durable plastic. It has no problem, like I said, being carried around in your jacket pocket because, well, it's so small. The Pantera Pico PC features an LED lighted strip that wraps around the top lid that can be seen from all directions. This 360-degree viewable LED strip is helpful since the ultra-silent active cooling system fan is so silent you'll have no way of finding out if the computer is running or not if this isn't on. Without this, honestly, you would not even be able to tell the PC is running, because the 9,500 RPM fan only runs at 19 decibels, so you can't even hear it whatsoever. Now, as far as what's under the hood, there's an Intel J4125 quad-core 2.7 GHz CPU, dual-band Wi-Fi 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz at 422 megabits a second, up to 8 GB of LPDDR4. There's 2 4GB sticks running in dual channel mode, which actually makes it run faster. You can configure the model up to 1 TB with an M2 SSD that's actually built onto the unit. The one that I'm reviewing today has a 256 GB M2, and they start out at 64 GB. The unit is ultra tiny, 2.63 by 2.63 by 1.75 inches. Just small. Now, taking a look at the outside, you can see there are 4 USB ports. 3 of them are USB 3.0. 1 of them is USB 2.0. There's also the 12-volt USB-C power port, a micro SD expansion card slot. It comes, like I said, pre-installed with 64-bit Windows 10, but it's also Linux compatible. It has a combo speaker microphone jack, and a heatsink that, like I said, is running at 95 dB at 9500 RPMs. Another cool thing about this particular unit is it can actually be run from a power bank. That's right. So if you can't find a plug anywhere whatsoever, I don't really know how this would translate, because, pretty much you need a monitor and keyboard and all that stuff. But honestly, if you're just running the unit itself and you can get a portable battery powered monitor, you could pretty much go on the go anywhere because it'll work off of a power bank. The unit also weighs less than 1/3 of a pound. That's right, less than 1/3 of a pound, so it's ultra lightweight. And for those people wondering, hey, is this thing compatible and upgradable to Windows 11? Yes, it is. It has the Trusted Platform Module 2.0 chip already installed on the board. Now, I couldn't really find out any exact information about the motherboard that's on this particular unit, but obviously from the tests that I ran and everything, it does run just fine. There's not really any problems with it whatsoever. So real quick though, let's just take a look at some of the tests that I ran on this unit. Okay, so there are the tests. Now you guys can see, obviously this thing is not an uber powerful PC. What it really, features is the ability to do lots of multitasking. I had like 15 windows open up in Microsoft Edge. It never boggled down whatsoever. I was able to play some games. I played like Dota 2. I was able to play Grid. It will play games at 1080p. Some of them at just around 30 frames per second at 1080p, but as you guys can see from the testing, it really doesn't run any of the games at higher than 30 frames per second at all, and that's even running at the settings that are pretty low. But it's really not geared to be a gaming computer. It's really not. It will play games, but the ability to be able to run any of the Office programs, to do multitasking, to surf the internet, to write emails, do all this kind of stuff, and be completely portable at such a small size is something incredible. Now, in their review guide, it kind of says this would be great for using as a media center, for your TV. I don't really agree with that because for media center, you have to have a keyboard, you have to have a mouse, you have to have all this stuff. When you're sitting in your living room, if you're going to set the Pantera Pico PC up by your TV, well, you're not going to really have access to it. You're not going to have remote control, so you're not going to be able to flip through your channels. Now, if you're using it on your computer and you've got a giant size monitor, and by the way, I was testing on a giant size monitor and I was running everything at 4K, not the test obviously, but the monitor screen size was 4K monitor. It ran that without any problems at all. Now, the only things that I say that are negative about this particular unit is that even though it does have an M2 SSD connected to it, the transfer rates and stuff, as you guys can see, aren't really that fast. And there's not really that much storage unless you get a 1 terabyte one. The one that I had only 256 gigabytes, so I ended up storing any games and anything that I wanted on an external SSD. But I use a Samsung T7 and that thing's totally fast enough to transfer any files whatsoever. Also, if you're looking for something really small to do music stuff on, this will do it without a problem. So if you're running Reaper or even if you're running Pro Tools, you can run it from an external device. There's enough power in here to actually mix and do your music on it. And one of the biggest things in a music studio is having a completely silent computer. Now, like I said, this isn't the most powerful computer in the world, being that it's a Celeron 4-core processor. It's just not. But for portability, for taking around anywhere you want to go, to surf the net, to use Windows Office programs, to do any of that type of stuff, to even play some games, You just can't beat something that barely takes up any desk space. I mean, let's look at a comparison right here. As you guys can see, here's a pear, which is just a piece of fruit, and an Xbox controller. And you guys can see how small the Pico PC is. And like I said earlier in the video, it will fit in your pocket, but it does come with this cool carrying case. And the carrying case is actually really, really durable. The PC, let me just open this up right here real quick. The PC will fit right in this little spot right here. Get it both on camera. And then right here you can stick the cable and everything else. The rest of the paperwork and stuff you don't really need. And when you first turn on the computer, you just go into the Windows setup, answer a few crazy questions. Although honestly, I don't know what's up with Microsoft, but it just seems like they're just pushing a sales pitch. It kept asking me, do I want to buy this? Do I want to buy that? That just kind of got old after a minute, clicking the mouse over and over going, so no, I don't want to buy this. I don't want to buy that. I just got kind of old. I wish that didn't have that whatsoever. But if you're a person who runs Linux-based stuff, they've actually tested it on a bunch of different types of Linux, and it runs all of those different ones with no problem whatsoever. So at the end of the day, here's what the deal is. Right now through the Kickstarter, you can get the unit that I reviewed today for $179. It's normally going to retail at $249. So if you're somebody who wants to just save absolute desktop real estate, you want something small, something portable, and something that looks kind of cool because the way it lights up blue around the top, I think that still looks pretty cool. And like I said earlier, without that, you wouldn't even know it was on. You'd be looking at it going, was it on or is it not? Because you cannot hear it whatsoever. Hence why I also said it'd be good for like doing, basic music stuff. So those are the prices. You can get different models from 64 gigabytes all the way up to 1 terabyte. The memory only goes to 8 gigabytes. I know some people might say that's not enough, but through the testing that I did, I went and surfed Windows. I was running Office. I even played a game in the background, then shut the windows down and went back and did some more surfing, then went back and played the game. It wasn't bogging down or doing anything really different. And from the test, you guys can see that the CPU performance is actually pretty good. And on the Windows-based testing, it actually was saying that it runs 74% better than other similar configured builds. So all in all, I think this is a really nice product. There are a few caveats to it. It doesn't transfer files like the fastest you're ever going to see. The M2 compared to some of the external drives isn't super duper fast. But I mean, when you're looking at something that's really so small compared to how things used to be, I think it's a solid win for the people over at XDo. Now, I didn't mention this at the very beginning of the video, but XDo is actually the parent company. They're the ones who have designed this. It's been in the making for a couple of years. Now we're finally getting to the end production. They're hoping by November these will be out completely on the market for people to buy. But if you want to save money right now, I'll have links to their Kickstarter and other pages where you guys can pick one up right now for $179. So picture that. Is there any other computer that you can really buy out there for $179 that's this small and can do all those things? I don't think so. So at the end of the day, I think the Pantera Pico PC is a win pretty much all around with just a few small things that make it, not the most robust thing in the world, but that's a trade-off for the size. So I'm Elric. You guys have been watching Tech and Tomorrow. Like usual, I'll have links down below. If you'd like to support the channel, you guys can try. It's a couple different ways to do it. For a single $1, you can support me on Patreon, and you can also try Amazon Prime for free, and anything that you guys buy through Amazon Prime will help give some money to Tech and Tomorrow and keep me up and running. So peace out. We'll see you guys back here for more tech on Tech of Tomorrow.